You want to go to the movies?
Yes.
Of course,
yes.
it's time.
This is a movie that's going to make you think about being kind.
Okay, I need that.
It's called Wonder.
My name is Augie Pullman. Next week, I start 5th grade. And since I've never been to real school before, I'm pretty much totally petrified. I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I've had 27 surgeries. They've helped me to breathe, to see, to hear without a hearing aid, but none of them have made me look ordinary.
You're the toughest kid in that school. Show them.
You can't blend in when you were born to stand out.
This movie started out as a book, a bestseller, and it is a wonderful book. Everyone who's read it goes like, ooh, I love this book. They should make it into a movie. And of course they did, as you can see. And this little kid that stars in the film, you saw him in a movie called Room. I think you saw him in the Book of Henry. And he's grown up a little bit, but it's hard to recognize him because he is suffering from some kind of birth defect. They don't say exactly what. And it's all about him fitting in. Owen Wilson is his dad, who is unbelievable, underrated actor, great performance. And who's that woman behind him?
Oh, just the fabulous, amazing Julia Roberts.
Yeah, who doesn't do a whole lot of stuff right now. You know, she's raising her kids. And when she said, talked about this movie a little bit, she talked about reading the book and how much she really wanted to do it. Let's get to that bite.
I loved it. I read it with my kids. They all loved it. And it was at that point that I thought, let me just find out this has got to be being made into a movie. I was not the first to the party of loving this book. I remember when I read the book by myself before I read it with my kids, I just felt like it was a really wonderful, gentle reminder for me to find more ways in a day, in a conversation, in this life to choose the nicer approach than the faster or the sarcastic or the negative. Because these are like a million choices in a day, just a little nicer, a little more patient. Owen and I are, we have very similar senses of humor. We kind of know how to lead each other in this little comic dance that we would do, and sometimes we would just really get to laughing to the point where it was unprofessional. He really kind of reinvented Nate for me. He just, oh my God, I thought he was so fantastic.
A lot of stories like this try to manipulate the audience a little bit to make you feel, you know, make you cry and all those kind of things. But this is one of those movies, it doesn't have a false note in it. I mean, she plays the mom like a mom that, you know, she's got her own thing going on, but her son's very important to her. He's homeschooled, but he's going to be sent off to school for his first time to 5th grade with all the other kids. And it's about him interacting with them.
So I'm not going to cry?
I think I'm still going to cry, but not because they're manipulating me in any way.
The emotion is so
wonderful.
real. You know, it's like, it's almost like you want to feel like that, but then you're so happy about how this thing progresses. You know, it's all about being kind. And
they're happy tears.
Kind.
It's
yeah,
happy. It's
pretty
happy.
good.
I'm gonna cry.
You can't blend in when you're born to stand out. When she just said that line, it brought tears to my eyes. I think it's beautiful.
I saw this movie last night, and it is terrific. And it's one of those movies you look at and go like, oh, I could see that on you know, Hallmark or something like that.
Right.
But it's really good. Owen Wilson, I think one of the most underrated guys around. Boy, does he does a great job in this. And of course, he's with Julia Roberts.
I just start to smile just thinking about Julia, because it's like you don't meet too many people, I feel like, who just have such a kind of vitality, and she just sort of has that in real life and brings it to the role. And so it's great to kind of watch her be a kind of compassionate but still funny mom to these kids and wife to me. We're really lucky to have Jacob playing this character, because he's just, he's terrific, and he was great in The Room, and you know, he's really the heart of the movie. When I was reading the script, I was wondering how are they gonna, you know, make him look, and will the actor be able to sort of communicate the emotions underneath this makeup to make it sort of believable that he has facial differences.
When we were riding home, my wife says, so how'd they do that with him? You think it was a mask? You think it was makeup? And it's probably a combination of all those things. But, you know, here's a little kid. Like I said, he was in Room. That was a long time ago. Book of Henry, not so long ago. But he, you know, he's becoming a seasoned actor. But still, that's a heck of a thing to pull off.
Yeah.
A heck of a role, and at a young age. And you said he was amazing in it.
Yeah, and what's good about it, too, is it's not just about a kid who's got, you know, he's different than the other kids. It's about something like you don't have to be different to experience all these same things about bullies and communication and cliques and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, it touches bases with everybody. So I thought, talking to all these folks, we should at least get a little sound from Jacob Tremblay and see what he has to say.
I was really excited to be Augie and, you know, to help those kids have a better life and have friends and be accepted by other people. I really liked the story. It was super, super good, and it did make my mom cry. And I think that the graduation scene is my favorite part. What excites me about this movie is that it teaches other people to choose kind, and hopefully it'll make the world a better place.
See, I want to cry again.
Look at those.
It's just amazing.
Look at those sparkly eyes.
Jeez.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a universal story. It's not just about somebody who's a little different, but in a way, everybody's a little different, and it's a good idea, like to think about choosing kind. You know, when
It's
you
a life
talk-
lesson for everybody of any age.
That's how I feel when I see Jimmy Malone every day. I choose kind.